we've got to talk about this event, the first leg of the Vegas swing, and then we'll get to our best bets and one and done. And joining me to break it all down, Greg DeChambeau is here. Greg, what's up?
What's going on, Rick? Fired up today. Love our breaking news on all fronts. Can't wait to get into it and dice it up with you guys.
Mark Immelman is here. Mark, good to have you.
Yeah, I was just looking through the list of when I was on the podcast last, and that was the 21st of September. So that's over a couple, almost 3 weeks ago. What you guys trying to eliminate me from the show? How's this working?
We've been missing you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Well,
I'm old. Well, I'm 1 year older since you last saw me. So good to be back with you guys.
That's right. Happy belated birthday, Mark. A couple days ago, right?
The 2nd of October, 51. I'd love to say fabulous, but 51 and aging.
You don't look a day over 50. So you got that covered. I wish this is like the second episode in a row. We need a breaking news drop. We got to work on that. Breaking news. The match, part 5, is official. And it is exactly what everyone has been waiting for. Bryson DeChambeau versus Brooks Koepka. Greg, let's just start with this. There's no other athletes. There's no other celebrities. This is mano e mano, Brooks versus Bryson going after each other.
Well, first of all, the mano e mano aspect, that's the format that I like. It gets rid of some of the fluff that's involved. So I'm definitely a fan of that. I think one-on-one match play is as pure as it gets. Now, you don't know what you're going to get excitement wise. You're definitely in a one-on-one with only one match out there. You're at risk of a kind of a fluff match. If somebody doesn't bring their game, somebody doesn't play well, it can get out of hand quick, and it can become boring quick. But that being said, I think these guys are going to have a little bit to play for. The one question I have is this old news? Are these just two friends now going out to play, or is there still a score to settle? And I feel like we've lost that with the Ryder Cup, which I'm grateful for and I'm happy about. I feel like if this happened before the Ryder Cup, we may have had a little more. There may have been a little more heat behind it, a little more intensity behind it, a little more juice, right? Well, so I don't know.
You think that, the producers of this match might be a little bit concerned about keeping everyone's attention, Mark, because this is not an 18-hole match. It's a 12-hole match. It's going to be played at the Wynn here in Las Vegas. It's a great course. I don't know how they'll probably do a custom routing, but 12 holes. I don't know why. I think maybe they're going to play off like 12 rounds with the heavyweight champ. It's going to be kind of boxing themed, Showtime, Las Vegas type of deal, but 12 holes is what we get.
Well, that take that you offered before we went live was actually pretty savvy. And before I give my take, color me bored. I mean, match 5, you got, I'm wondering, you got 12 holes to your point, but then what are they going to mix in, like one of those one club holes and all sorts of stuff to keep the thing interesting? I don't know. I mean, it's in a time of the year, I understand, after Thanksgiving. I think the 12 holes might be to fit in television because that time of the year with football and stuff, it's a big deal. So maybe it's trying to navigate its way around television schedules. But Brooks and Bryson, I mean, that's like the playground fight that's gone away now, hasn't it? And it's almost like the match was late to the party. So I'm sure it'll be entertaining. I don't think I'll be tuning in for this, to be honest, really, with you. But I hope it turns out great. I hope they make a whole bunch of money for charity like they always do. And I'm just keen now, with this whole player impact program thing going on, how this is going to help the end of the year rankings. Because let's not forget, this was hinted at before the Ryder Cup even, when they started proclaiming their buddies and watch this space, something is likely to happen. I'm like, oh, please, here we go. I at least thought maybe, like Greg says, he likes the one-on-one thing. Why don't you bring in the Bradys and the Mannings and company? Because for me, that drove ratings. And if you really want to make this a splash, you need the TV ratings up, don't you? And so bring in a few of the personalities there. But anyway, I'll stop. I'm not on board with it that much. And it's Thanksgiving. I'll be enjoying that rather.
Yeah, that's right. The day after Thanksgiving. So this will be a final push for the PIP money at the end of the year. And Greg, I think I think they're going to just lean into this whole Las Vegas thing, and the money that presumably will be put up for this, which has historically, since Tiger versus Phil in the first one, has gone to some charity effort. The 18th hole at this course, I played it a couple of weeks ago. They redid this course about 2 years ago. It is a majestic par three that the backdrop is this completely man-made waterfall. And when you play that course, depending on what tee box you're on, if you make an ace, Greg, it's like 10,000 bucks, 15,000 bucks, or 20 grand that they give you. So I imagine they will ratchet that amount up. And if one of those guys makes an ace on 18, it's going to be like $1 million to the charity of their choice.
Right. And I'm sure that'll all be exciting. And from the sounds of it, whatever they do with the routing, they'll work that hole in there.
Yeah.
Because that's just so Las Vegas, right? All of a sudden you got a waterfall in the desert behind the 18th green, and it fits the mold of it fits the Las Vegas style. So look, I don't have a problem with it. But the thing I like about the format is it doesn't feel like you're, well, maybe that's not true. But sometimes when you add in the other athletes, it feels like you're chasing the ratings. Maybe this is chasing the ratings anyway. And I guess it's you're hand selecting a match. So of course you're trying to get guys that people are interested in watching. But it does feel like these are two professionals at a really nice point in their career. It's not like they're on Tiger and Phil, even though they both won a major after it. Maybe it felt like they were on the way down during that match. At the back end of their career, maybe it felt like they weren't necessarily at their best. And now with this one, it feels like these are two top 10 players in the world who are at their best. And so there's a chance you could see some pretty good golf. And I like the time frame. I like having it the day after Thanksgiving. I don't like doing it in the summer. I don't like doing it on a Tuesday. I like doing it the day after Thanksgiving. I think it makes sense. I think that's a good time for it. And if you're not a fan of it and you're rolling your eyes at it, well, then you simply don't watch, and you don't have to. There's plenty of other things to watch on TV that day. There's no one forcing it. So from that regard, I don't have a problem with it. I do think that it's a little old. I think it's lost some juice. I think it's lost some heat. So we'll see how it picks up. But I do think, I don't know about you, Mark, but I imagine there'll be some people who right now are saying, I'm out. I'm not going to watch it. But when it's Friday and you're sitting there on the couch dealing with your full belly from the day before, you're going to want to click over and see what Bryson and Brooks are doing.
I hope this might entice me, because as you've heard, I'm a bit of a naysayer. I would love to see them, Rick, you know the golf course. I'd love to see them cut the rough down. I hope it's like set up for just amateur golfers coming out there. So Bryson can just absolutely unload and drive at 50 past Brooks on every hole, and then actually start some sort of an ego feud, because then it might turn exciting for me. Because otherwise, it's going to be a bunch of pillow fighting going on, and guys they're going to mic them up and try and get them to rib each other some. I don't know. I'd like to see Bryson drive it, because honestly, in terms of intrigue, you were there, Rick. I know that. I thought Bryson in the long driving contest was infinitely more interesting than these two going at it for 12 holes outside of Vegas. I really did.
That might end up being true. It's fascinating of what they're going to try to pull off. We haven't seen this one-on-one since Tiger versus Phil. Greg, let's end with this. I don't think I can show this comment because there's an expletive in the username, but I like where this is going. So the comment says, I think Bryson won over some haters. I bet it's Bryson minus 135. Do you see, there's obviously going to be betting opportunities on this, Greg. Who would you assign as the favorite in this match?
Bryson, without question right now. He was a little better at the Ryder Cup, I think. Has no issues with injury. It looks like Brooks is healthy, but we'll see. We're going to get a chance to see Brooks this week and not Bryson. So as we move along here in this season, we'll get a chance to see these guys a couple of times. I would imagine at least once each, probably twice probably 2 to 3 times for Bryson. He's probably going to play the CJ Cup next week. I mean, you might see Bryson 3 times. You might, or 2 times. Brooks 2 to 3 times beforehand. So it'll be curious to see how they play. Where's their form? But I would definitely give Bryson the favorite as it stands right now.
Unless something's changed, Bryson told us he is not playing until the Hero World Challenge. So we'll see. So this would be the next time we see him would be this event the day after Thanksgiving.
So he's not playing it. He's not playing any of that stuff. Oh,
yes,
interesting.
If he sticks to his word, what he told us.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm firmly on board with Greg and our friend Guy in the bathroom. I made a point of watching Bryson play some at the Ryder Cup, and he was hitting it hard and he was accurate. Now, ever since he's gone through this metamorphosis, I've been astounded really at how accurate he is in terms of the power he has off the tee. But in some of his matches, he was absolutely unleashing and threading the needle on all of these fairways. And he is a pretty impressive looking golfer right now. And if he can piece it all together, I would say he's the favorite by a long shot. Of that, I have no doubt.
Sorry, Greg,
so I just wanted to ask a question. How does that look bad on Brooks if he loses to Bryson? Bryson's the favorite. Bryson goes out and wins. We expect now. Does that create any problem for? Does it create a problem for anyone if they lose?
It's 12 holes. No, it's 12 holes. Not at all. I mean,
yeah. So we're just going to roll off our back no matter what.
Yeah, if I'm beaten in this match, I'll be like, come on, man, this was 12 holes. It was a hit and giggle, essentially made for TV. No, this doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, we're going to find out. Day after Thanksgiving, 12-hole match between Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. It'll be played at the Wynn in Las Vegas. And if it is true heavyweight fighting mold, one will win. There will be a rematch. The other one will win, and then we will get a third one for all the marbles. That's how they make the most money out of these fights. That's how they make the most money out of these matches. We'll be there to check it all out.